So we're going to take a look at Ripple today and have a look at the key levels at both to the upside and to the downside and see if we can decipher it's a good buy at the minute or if it's something that we should be waiting for better areas of value. If you like this sort of video, please go ahead and drop me a like down below. It really helps me out, shows me that you want to see more of this stuff, and also for me to go through these charts takes a lot of time, and the editing takes a lot of time, so I try to mark out those key levels for you and give you the absolute best entry points and best targets that you can possibly look for. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Essentially, we are at this key level of weekly support over here, where we have tested this area 2-3 times before in the past, broke through it, retested it as support, currently retesting this region again as support as well. So it's a key macro level of support at this 65 cent area. It is important to note that Ripple has been performing pretty well overall, okay, especially during the recent downturn in December, where BTC broke its low over here on December the 5th, but we actually managed to hold this level, and we're still creating higher highs and higher lows, as you can see here. So essentially, this is an uptrend that we want to be joining for the next wave, the next move to the upside when that comes. Okay, now if we lose 65 and we start closing below here at the 50 level, that definitely opens up the door for a move down here, where we will likely see lower prices. But until that happens, right, you don't have any reason to think that that should be happening, because we're essentially just stair-stepping our way up, and we're looking pretty good at the minute. Now, compared to a lot of other coins like AVAX, Luna, etc., when I covered those, I told you not to buy them, and same thing for like Phantom. I said wait for areas of value, but actually Ripple is in a good area of value, where, in my opinion, this is a good area to be adding to your stash. Okay, you're at key weekly support. Okay, and you have to buy when there is a lot of fear and there's a lot of red, and when things are looking pretty boring. So that's basically what you want to be looking out for, and that's exactly where we are at the moment. The next area that we want to be targeting is going to be this block over here. I'll just drop this down to the daily, okay, and you could even just play the range from here. So just going from this range low over here, like I said, this strong weekly support, up to the top over here is going to be nearly 100% move. So from about that 70 cent level up to the $1.30 mark is going to be a key area to look out for. And the way that we want to be breaking market structure to the upside is we'd want to see some sort of reaction at these levels. It might not be this week. I'm not saying go all in on Ripple, but I am telling you that we're on strong weekly support, okay? And we want to basically make eventually a push here, challenge these highs over here, okay? Probably get rejected at the first time, okay, but maybe create some sort of consolidation pattern over here, and then we want to basically break through here. Maybe we come up to this level over here, which is a key swing high, and then again we want to back test this area and start stair-stepping our way back to the upside. So that's a sort of like bullish bias scenario that you're looking for Ripple. And remember, like, price moves very quickly on Ripple. It's one of those coins that just absolutely moonshots, moves really quickly straight up. So you get these big moves. So you want to get in early, position yourself first, hold, okay, have your levels where you invalidate yourself and you go, do you know what, if we go below this low or below this low, I'm out. That's totally fine. But these are the areas where we are at key weekly support, okay, is the levels that you want to be buying in. So in my opinion, not financial advice, this is a good area to be adding into XRP, and really it's one of those charts that also looks really good. We're basically moving into those zones, and that's basically what I'm seeing for Ripple in the short to medium term, okay? So taking a look at Ripple Bitcoin pair, okay, remember we want to look at key levels over here, because they're going to give us likely some confluence of some of those major price targets, both up and down, okay? Is that we can see we've got this big range at the tops and at the bottoms where Ripple likes to go to, okay? We don't need to focus so much about the top at the moment, okay? Because that is a pretty monumental path to take. Maybe the SEC says you get some kind of good news, but like I said, typically that'll be in confluent with some of those major price targets. But we've got intra intra-week, key resistance and support zones over here that we want to be looking out for. Okay, and we want to be marking these out. And like we said, this is likely going to be confluent with some of those key levels. So if we reach some kind of all-time high, I would imagine that, Ripple Bitcoin, is going to be probably trending, somewhere up here to the top of this range, which might be in and around 100% move. Okay, and you can see over here that these are touch points that we've had multiple times before. So like I said, we want to mark out the key levels, and the same thing to the downside. We can see that we get big price reactions over here. So like I said, you want to play the key ranges, and if XRP does make a big move to the upside, likely, we get a big pump over here. So those levels to look out for are going to be 4,500 sats, and the lower levels are going to be about 1,500 sats, okay? So we'll mark those out as well. So we've got those for reference in the future. So now that we know that Ripple is uptrending, we're at key weekly support, and we can start to project some higher highs, okay? Moving into the rest of this year and beyond. Okay, here's some price targets that we can look out for. Now the main levels that I'm looking out for is for sure somewhere around that all-time high area. Okay, and then beyond that we're looking at somewhere around the $5 mark, and there's even some higher price targets that we can project, but we want to mark these out for profit taking zones. Okay, because like I said, we're locking in now. Key weekly support is kind of the strategy that you want to do. Okay, so if we look at some of the key impulses, and we look at our key fib relationships, right, that Ripple tends to hit the 2.618 and create these big peaks, okay, quite a lot of times. Okay, it's definitely a level that Ripple likes to respect, and you can see this peak over here again. You take this down here, you can see that we are essentially hitting the 2.618 every single time. So that's definitely an area that we want to be looking out for. And what do you know, if we basically take this area here, and let's say we do get that bounce from here, then we do have that confluent area over here at 2.618, which is coincides with all-time high at about that $3 mark. Okay, and from the same extension of this wave, like I said, we tend to look at that 4.236 and 1.618 as well as those key levels to mark out. So we can mark out here as well, like we spoke about $5, and we can see that we'll get some confluence of that in a moment as well. So we've got $5, and then we've got again about here $3.12 to be marking out. Okay, makes sense. And then if we take as well some of these big impulse waves over here, that we're getting some other confluence. The 1.618 is again at about all-time high, so somewhere in this box is going to be $3 to $3.45, $3.50, makes total sense. And again, 2.618 of this level is going to be $5.40, around that $5 mark, and then we've got maybe a mania peak up towards here, which is going to be about $8, right? And just the last projection that I would be making over here is using this entire wave, okay, and this retracement over here, that we can see that if we take the March low to this big peak that we got at $2, okay, what do you know as well? Some of these areas are confluent as well. $8.16, again, somewhere between $5 or $6, $5.50, and 1.618 of that is again targeting that all-time high. So all-time high definitely looks like an area that Ripple can tackle, and then if it gets there, it'll probably move pretty quick. So just look out for those key levels on the chart, okay? And Ripple does tend to go into, it does tend to retest, peaks very violently, very quickly. You can see it sort of gets to these retests, range highs quite often. Same thing again here, you can see, okay? So maybe we do start to create, if we do reach up here, okay, maybe we start to create some kind of, ranging pattern over here. Right, but you get the point, right? So those are areas that we want to look out for. And just another thing to note that I wanted to go through is that usually peak to peak, Ripple does tend to make big moves of somewhere around 400%, and then over here again 600% in 2017. And if we take peak to peak over here, it wouldn't be too unreasonable to make a 150-200% move if we move and extend somewhere up to these upper levels. Okay, so definitely something to watch out for, and something that Ripple can definitely do. So those are the key levels that I'm watching out for, both the upside and the downside. Overall, I think Ripple is at, you know, a good area of weekly support if you want to be buying into this. And like I said, any invalidation for me would be over here at about, you know, losing this 65 to 50 cent area. If we lose this and start making weekly closes below, then yeah, sure, that opens the possibility of retesting this entire area over here, and maybe we retest the range lows. But until that happens, you have no reason to really be thinking otherwise. You know, stick with the trend. The trend is your friend until the end. So, you know, like I said, during strong uptrends, these are areas you want to be finding areas of value to be getting into certain projects and into certain trends. You don't want to be like, you know, shorting the trend or whatever. So that's how I'd be looking at that. If you like the video, like I said, and you stay to the end, please drop me a like. Really helps me out. It takes me a lot of time to go through all of these charts with you, so that you can hopefully, you know, mark out those really important levels, you know, on the chart. Okay, so until the next one, peace out.